How may I assist you? You want top of power?
You want top of power?
Join the prepaid party with CCT and enjoy more affordable data plans, more top-up promotions, more savings with hero bundles, and more value for your money each and every Tuesday with Top-Up Turn-Up Tuesday. Visit a CCT store today or anywhere CCT Top-Up is sold and top up your phone.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. You want top of power?
BVI's Sharonda Pickering goes pro, Governor versus Premier, and Honorable Carvin Malone exempted.
Dorian wreaks havoc in the Bahamas, an exclusive interview with your new Miss World BVI, and Kevin Hart in a major accident. These and more stories when 284 News returns.
What are you really running for, boss? You could have bust a hole in your head. But see you with the competition. Which means you're about to bust a hole in your pocket.
I could get my modem, please.
Anyhow, I got something huge to show you.
I gotta be sick in your head.
The whole on string bean, Tina kind of party. Check this. That's LTE1 for just about everyone. LTE2 for you and your boo. And hold on. Bam! Rate so low, you feel like you're free. That's LTE3 for you and the whole family.
Save even more on your internet with new pricing from CCT. Get LTE 2 now for only $149. Get LTE 3 for the new low price of $189. All packages are unlimited, so there's no overage charge. You don't have to run into Chaz for savings. Just stop by our store and sign up today. Come on over to CCT. Life Unlimited.
Welcome, everybody. It is Tuesday, September 3rd, 2019, in the beautiful British Virgin Islands. I'm Ron Grant.
And I am Javon Wilson. Of course, we're so happy to be back and be bringing you all the details locally, regionally, and internationally right here on 284 News.
Topping our newscast today, Sharonda Pickering of Seacows Bay, Tortola, British Virgin Islands, has gone pro after playing in the second round of the NCAA tournament in November 2018 with the FGCU 27-7. The BVI-born volleyball star and former FGCU Eagles standout has been drafted to play in the Sport KTF, one of the top volleyball teams in Hungary, Europe. She is already in Europe and has begun playing volleyball professionally. Now, Jovan, within the past few months and years as well, we've seen where a lot of our BVI athletes have risen to the occasion and have been excelling in their various areas. Now, Sharonda, of course, now adding her name and the sport of volleyball to that list, we, of course, reached out to Ms. Pickering and had a great conversation about her journey and how it feels to be in the position she is in. She began our interview by saying, "Being drafted is an amazing feeling. It's something I have been always thinking about in the back of my head. However, from this moment, to be here and actually happening, it's very exciting. In Hungary, I'm thrilled to be back in the gym, to meet new people, and to take in every moment. I'm also looking forward to be able to adapt to a different country with a different language and a different culture." She took some time, to give encouraging words to fellow athletes and thank some very special people. She said, "To young athletes in the Virgin Islands, I encourage them to just keep pushing through and know the sky is the limit. Opportunities aren't given, but earned. The skills you're developing now are the skills that will make you more appealing to scouts in the near future. I want to thank everyone in the volleyball community. In some way, they all coached or mentored me into the volleyball player that I am today. A special thanks to my parents, Amos and Sarita Pickering, and sister for their continued support, especially when coming to as many games as possible and cheering me on no matter what. Kudos to you, Sharonda, and congratulations."
Yeah, it's great news. I think locally we see our athletes continuing to shine on the regional and international scene. I think one of the biggest ultimatums is being drafted as a professional, so we're very proud of her and all the others who are shining.
Such a young age too. It's a remarkable accomplishment.
Yes. Moving right along, viewers, this time around sad news. One of the most devastating things we probably had to report on here at 284 Media, Hurricane Dorian relentlessly pounding and hovering over the Bahamas. The monster storm made landfall on Sunday at Elko Key in Abaco Island, then made a second landfall near Marsh Harbor and a third on the eastern end of Grand Bahama Island as a Category 5 hurricane. It's the first Category 5 hurricane on record to make landfall in the Grand Bahama Island. Now, viewers, Grand Bahama is startlingly flat. The highest point is just at 40 feet. And get this, the storm has incited flooding in some areas as high as a fatal 20 feet. The Prime Minister, he's in tears as he tries to come to grip with the many casualties among the catastrophic losses that are estimated to be, at this point, around Ron, just about $70 billion. According to Bahamas officials, 5 persons have now been confirmed dead, including an 8-year-old boy who drowned during the tragedy. In addition to that, at least 21 persons who were critically injured have been airlifted to the U.S. by their Coast Guards to receive medical attention. The reports are that more casualties were reported, with the many visibly floating bodies. However, an overall official report is yet to be made. Now, up to press time, the waters have not receded and remains again at life-threatening height, which resulted in the government up until yesterday encouraging persons to cut holes in their ceilings so that they won't be trapped if the water continues to rise. It's just beyond what we can imagine.
Unimaginable, actually, yeah.
Rescue efforts, of course, are ongoing as we speak. Many persons are still trapped in their homes. According to a picture posted on Bahamas News, which is a news media house in the Bahamas, 2 adults are trapped since 1 p.m. yesterday in their ceiling. The windows are boarded and the roof is metal, which means they literally have no way to go. Additional photos have surfaced with sharks, Ron. Sharks. Yeah. Sharks swimming around casually, and of course this will be inciting even more fear. Parents are locking their kids in kitchen cupboards and babies are crying. The people are just simply terrified. As we speak, many efforts are being organized internationally and locally to get relief to the Bahamas. Our very own Miss Universe BVI, Bria Smith, in collaboration with Miss Bahamas, are trying to solicit help. So listen in on how you too can be a part of that.
As Virgin Islanders, both in the Virgin Islands and the United States Virgin Islands, the thought of a Category 5 hurricane, it's a sore topic for us. It triggers a level of fear as we recollect our moments being battered by Hurricanes Irma and Maria. What our neighbors in Bahamas are going through is something we can definitely relate to. So as Miss Universe British Virgin Islands, I reached out to Miss Universe Bahamas, and we agreed to work together to establish drop points for donations in the Virgin Islands to send back to the Bahamas once the island is ready to begin accepting said donations. It is our intention to establish these drop-off locations throughout the Virgin Islands with drop-off dates and provide a list of immediate supplies for reference. This is a collaborative effort, one that will include everyone and will need the full support of our people. As details continue to be developed, I am encouraging everyone to follow the Miss British Virgin Islands Facebook page for updates. And as we continue to pray for the people of the Bahamas, I'm encouraging everyone to please remain vigilant, stay up to date on what's happening in the Atlantic, and download the BVI DDM Alert app. Thank you.
Universe BVI Bria Smith, the Rotary body of the BVI has also stepped up in a major way, organizing a mega telethon that's scheduled for Tuesday, September 10th, of course, led by District Governor Delma Maduro. Now, based on her consultations with the Bahamas officials, the consensus is that cash might be the best form of donation, which will be deposited to the Central Rotary Disaster Relief Fund in the Bahamas to support relief and recovery. Now, persons locally will be able to call in, and make monetary pledges using their credit cards. So please stay up to date with their social media, the different forums, and how you too can be a part of that. We see persons taking on a personal note, extending themselves as well. Keem Leonard of Green Creek BVI is also reaching out to the public to donate items, which will be shipped to the Bahamas, and there are many other persons and organizations getting involved. Cecile Alex Jeffrey, trained in logistics management, and Dr. Evangeline Innes Springer, who is the deputy director, both of them from DDM, have been deployed today to the Bahamas to join the Pan American Health Organization Regional Health Emergency Response Team to give support to operations taking place in response to the impacts from Hurricane Dorian. Now, BVI, we are all too familiar with the magnitude of this monster. I mean, we missed the blunt of it last Monday. touching on in the BVI as a Category 1. But Irma and Maria, which came extremely close, should never be forgotten. So please, in whatever way you can, join in on one of these efforts to mobilize help for our brothers and sisters in the Bahamas. According to officials, the airport there is still under 5 feet of water, and it will take just about a week for the water to subside, and then at least another week for the cleanup so the airport can reopen, which is a major problem for persons hoping to ship items into the Bahamas. However, once the port reopens, the items will be delivered in a prompt fashion. Now, the last update we've had on the hurricane received at 3 a.m. today was that it had broken down from a Category 5 into a Category 3, so that's good news, and that the eye is a little off of Grand Bahama with wind speeds of 120 miles per hour, but the motion of Dorian is still under 1 mile per hour, which basically means that it's still hovering over the island, still stuck over the island. It is heading to the coast of Florida. Viewers, so be sure to stay vigilant, as well as please keep those in its path in your prayers. For those of you who do not know, Dorian has tied with Hurricane Gilbert that we would have experienced in 1988, Wilma in 2005, and the 1935 Labor Day hurricane, for the second strongest Atlantic hurricane on record. Allen in 1980 was the most powerful with 119 miles per hour winds, and scientists have warned that climate change is making the hurricanes more intense. As global warming heats up the ocean surface temperature, storms gather more energy, which can lead to greater rainfall and stronger winds as they make landfall. When scientists put the pieces together, they project that in general, hurricanes will become more intense in a warming world, much like we've seen recently with Hurricanes Harvey, Michael, and Florence.
Now, Jovan, thank you so much for keeping us abreast with that. That's a lot of information, and our hearts and prayers do go out. I think it's fitting, Jovan, if you would with me, let's pause for a moment of silence as we think and reflect on the people of the Bahamas as they go through this very difficult time, and of course, for the lives that have been lost. Thank you. Still ahead, Governor versus Premier, and our very own Jovan Wilson sits down with the new Miss World BVI. These and more stories after a word from our sponsors. You're watching 284 News.
Is business slow? Cash flow down? Hosting an upcoming event? We can help. Advertise with 284 Media and take your business or event to the next level by enhancing your present marketing and messaging strategies. Allow our team of experts to create a personalized ad that sets your business apart from all the rest. This could be your business or event. So, what are you waiting for? Contact our marketing team at 284media@cctbvi.com. Advertising with us works.
When you need to stay connected with friends and families at home or abroad, the best choice for you is Freedom. CCT Freedom. With the lowest rates in the market, our Freedom plan gives you unlimited calls and texting. Plus, our Freedom One package includes 10 gigabits of super fast, unlimited LTE data and unlimited calls to the BVI, USA, USVI, Canada, Puerto Rico, and UK lines. Why pay for overages when you can enjoy CCT Freedom? Stop by at one of our stores today and speak with one of our representatives to find out more about our CCT Freedom packages.
So you're saying I can ask this cat any question?
The cat is connected to the computer. You just type in the question, it will read his mind. There the answer comes.
You're the man! I've been looking for this for weeks.
Brilliant Hands and Minds Tutoring Services. One-on-one tutorials in math and English, intense homework assistance, academic enrichment, school projects, effective communication and public speaking development, sign language for adults and children on Saturdays only. Registered with the Virgin Islands High School Certificate Program, Brilliant Hands and Minds can help you too. Offering intense curriculum-based training to help you or your loved ones get their high school diploma. It's time to make your family's education a #1 priority. Hurry, space is limited. Brilliant Hands and Minds Learning Center. We are the trained education professionals.
Welcome back, viewers. You're watching 284 News. Now, as promised, we have in studio the beautiful and recently crowned Miss World BVI 2019, Rikiya Brathwaite, as well as the chairman of the Miss World BVI committee, Mr. Damian Grainger. Welcome to 284 Media.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
All right, so I'll just start quickly with Damian. Just tell us a little bit about the Miss World BVI franchise and the type of platform, that it provides for young individuals like the beautiful Miss Rikiya here.
Well, Miss World BVI is about philanthropy and giving back, and the program is centered around beauty with a purpose, focusing on beauty that is more than skin deep. And as a Miss World British Virgin Islands, or as a Miss World overall, you must be giving back to your community in one way or another. And so that is basically the core of the organization. The franchise has been around in the BVI for a number of years, but in 2013, it was revived after a 10-year hiatus.
Okay.
And since then, we have been consistent with representation on the international stage.
And walk us through the qualifying process for the local leg.
Well, you must not be married. You must be between the ages of 16 to 25.
Oh God, I missed it. I'm kidding.
Maybe we could do a little bit of adjusting.
Okay.
And you should have a heart for helping people and a passion for giving back to your community. And also, we welcome young ladies who are very talented, who are ambitious and has that desire to represent her homeland on an international stage.
All right, Mr. Grainger, Miss World BVI Rikiya, being crowned last week, being crowned last weekend without any prior experience in the pageant industry, how does it feel? Just tell us about your experience overall and your feedback from the event.
Well, can't you tell from my cheeks? I've just been blushing since Saturday. I'm so excited. I feel so honored to be able to be an ambassador and philanthropist for the BVI, and I just hope to make it very, very, very proud.
All right. I know you were a national scholar for the Virgin Islands, and that would have afforded you an opportunity of acquiring scholarships, and you would have graduated in May this year. Tell us a little bit about your academic pursuit.
So first, I went to University of Miami to study the performing arts. I have a bachelor's degree in musical theater, and I was funded from the government after the fact. But I was funded from the government to help me to pursue that career and that degree.
All right. So as our newest beauty ambassador, how do you intend on using your platform and, of course, your natural talents in the arts? How do you intend on extending yourself via this platform?
Well, I first would like to start in the education system. I would like to create a platform or classes that helps people in the education system that wants to pursue the performing arts. So at least there should be like theater classes, music classes, singing classes, dance classes, because I had that when I went abroad. So I think if there's a foundation for that here, that would encourage artists here living in the British Virgin Islands to do that as well.
We live in a time where we're trying to diversify the economy. There are some threats to our financial sector, our tourism sector. The arts seems to be a very promising sector. Why do you think it's so important for us to start with the kids?
It's very important to start with the kids because when I was growing up, my parents put me in different sectors. So I played baseball, I sang, I played piano, and then it was there when I found what I loved. So if I can help people that start off that same way and find what they love, then at least they can have an opportunity to know what they want to do. And I feel like if there isn't an infrastructure for that now, so at least if they have the opportunity to see what art is, and even if they have the talents or even if they have the passion for it, they can pursue that in their future.
And they can go very far. You've been doing very well on the international scene, and we're very, very proud of you, Ms. Brathwaite. Mr. Grainger, the coronation dinner honored quite a number of persons. Let's get into a few of those persons and why your committee thought it was so important to honor those persons.
All right. Thank you, Javon, for that question. So in 2015, we wanted to push the boundaries of beauty with a purpose. We have a number of folks within our community that are giving of their time, their resources, and energy, and they're not looking for anything in return.
Right.
But we believe that in creating a spirit of gratitude, it not only says thank you, but it will also encourage others to want to do the same. And so we initiated the Beauty with a Purpose Philanthropic Award. We approached the Premier's office at the time, and he was very much excited to get on board, and he came on as the patron of the award, so then it became the Premier's Beauty with a Purpose Philanthropic Award.
Oh wow, it was fully adopted.
Yes. This year, we received a number of recommendations, and we narrowed them down to Dr. Robert McTavius, Lorna Smith, OBE, and Robin Gall. They were awarded with special recognition awards. Lorna and Dr. McTavius for their contribution to the financial services sector.
Absolutely.
And Mr. Gall is one of those silent supporter of various charitable organizations. And then for the main awards, which are the Outstanding Philanthropist, Lifetime Philanthropist, and Outstanding Philanthropic Organization, Vizar was honored with the Outstanding Philanthropic Organization Award for obviously the work they do. And Vizar goes way above just rescuing people at sea.
Right.
They do blood drive and a number of other initiatives helping out in the community. So we felt that they were deserving. And then we have Popeye,
Yes.
who received the Lifetime Philanthropist Award. A lot of folks don't know that number of times you would see him setting up for events, especially charitable events. He's not charging. So he's giving up his time and his resources to the community. And then we had for Outstanding Philanthropist this year would have been, oh, I'm having a brain freeze moment.
What's that? Red Cross?
No, that,
Whoever that is.
yes. That's
Whoever the
horrible.
person is, that's okay. A lot of persons were honored, and I think it's very admirable that your community takes time to give back to those persons. Like we said, they don't have to do it, but they do it freely, and they extend themselves. So we are so grateful for the many contributions that they would have been able to make. Outside of that, in closing, let's talk about the international leg. Now, Damien, I know support plays such an integral role in a queen being selected on the international stage. They want to see your country backing you. They want to see that national pride. Just speak to the populace, the BVI, about the importance of support as Ms. Brathwaite here goes along her journey to the international crown.
We believe Rikiya is an excellent candidate to be an ambassador for the Virgin Islands, and your support means so much. So it is just heartwarming if you as a community would give her your support. On the international stage, as you mentioned, Javon, the judges, believe it or not, are looking to see if your country is behind you.
Right.
And one way of doing that is to watch your social media movement while you're there, and of course how you interact with the Miss World website itself. And so we encourage the community to take part, to follow Rikiya, make sure you encourage her on her journey. If she posts a picture, just like it, share it, and so the organization can see that you are 100% behind her.
Well, we are 110% behind her, Team 284 Media. We want to thank you guys so much for stopping by. We're heading over to Ron for more news.
Thank you so much, Jovan. That was a great interview. I believe the name you guys were looking for may have been Mrs. Cecily Malone. I could be wrong, but I think she was one of the honorees. And on to the next story. Hold up. Wait a minute now. Governor of the Virgin Islands, Augustus J.U. Jasper, acting within his rights under the Virgin Islands Constitution Order of 2007 in accordance with Section 72, has put a stop to the recent reshuffling and new appointment by the Foy administration of permanent secretaries across the various government ministries. A Government Information Services press release dated August 30th, 2019, had stated that, and I quote, His Excellency the Governor, Mr. Augustus J.U. Jasper, in accordance with Section 92 of the Virgin Islands Constitution, has decided on the mentioned appointments which will take effect between the 4th and 9th of September 2019. However, this has seemingly changed, or in which case he, the Governor, does not seemingly feel for all or all of the appointments and the reshuffling in perhaps the best interests of the people. Now, the governor's rejection of the recent recommendations of permanent secretaries was brought to light during Monday's September 2nd sitting of the House of Assembly by Premier Foy, who referred to the governor's actions as unprecedented and as an insult. He further stated that the governor's move, yet again, another case of the British government dictating that the people of the Virgin Islands are incompetent and incapable. And I quote, "His decision is an insult to all Virgin Islanders and where we have come as a territory. And as I reflect on our 65th anniversary of emancipation celebrations, my phone has been blowing up since Friday. And while I have no problem with the governor leaning on his own discretion, I see his actions as an insult to self-reliance, self-determination, modern partnership, mutual respect, and the democratic future of the BVI," Foy said. Governor Augustus Jaspert has not yet stated who his choices will be for permanent secretaries or whether he will be appointing new persons or will the appointees remain as they were prior to the reshuffling. But his choice, according to Foy, will be merit-based. Foy, not seemingly ready to let the governor's decision go so easily, said, "We will continue to fully respect the United Kingdom and their representative, but it is imperative that this respect is reciprocated." Now, the Honorable Julian Fraser, 3rd District Representative, who has served for some 20 years as a legislator, also joined in the conversation during yesterday's sitting in the House of Assembly by saying, "They know what they are doing. They are up to something. This never happens. You don't just do that because every minister was given that privilege to decide who he wanted as his permanent secretary, and the Premier or Chief Minister stood up with them. Never, for the time that I've been in government, in the opposition, in the House of Assembly, have I ever heard that a governor imposes permanent secretary on any ministry." Fraser then urged legislators and the wider public to be watchful of the governor. He said, "When you see a governor doing this, they got a mandate. Watch him. Stay focused. Anytime those things start happening, you're sliding down a slippery slope." Now, what's interesting, ladies and gentlemen, about this story is, again, based on the facts, August 30th, 2019, the Government Information Services issued a press release stating that the governor was sanctioned. And I'm not sure if this is just protocol or it's just a habit, but information of such should not be shared unless it is actually confirmed that the governor isn't supporting. Clearly, by what we've seen transcend during the past few days, this is not necessarily the case. So, of course, we're going to keep you posted on the happenings. Now, up next, Honorable Carvin Malone exempted and Kevin Hart in a major accident. We'll be right back after a word from our sponsors. You're watching 284 News.
Hi, I'm Henderson Tittle, founder and president of Mail, and you're watching 284 Media. The journey continues.
Is business slow, cash flow down, hosting an upcoming event? We can help. Advertise with 284 Media and take your business or event to the next level by enhancing your present marketing and messaging strategies. Allow our team of experts to create a personalized ad that sets your business apart from all the rest. This could be your business or event. So, what are you waiting for? Contact our marketing team at 284media@cctbvi.com. Advertising with us works.
Viewers, welcome back. The long-awaited motion to exempt Honorable Carvin Malone was brought forward at yesterday's sitting of the House of Assembly chambers by Premier and Minister of Finance, the Honorable Andrew A. Foy, in an effort to protect the Honorable Malone from having to vacate his seat. Businessman and legislator, the Honorable Carvin Malone, under the Virgin Islands Party VIP administration, will continue to be in receipt of government contracts as a sitting legislator and director of a connected company. Now, as such, under the Virgin Islands Constitution Order 2007, he could have been forced to vacate his seat should certain protocols not be followed. The exemptions, as per the motion, states, and I quote, "An elected member of the House of Assembly becomes a party to a contract with the government of the Virgin Islands for or on account of the public service, or if the firm in which the member is or becomes a partner of the company of which the member is or becomes a director or managing becomes party to a contract with the government of the Virgin Islands." Section 67 of the Virgin Islands Constitution Order 2007. Now, the motion was finally carried yesterday, September 2nd, 2019, for Honorable Malone as the Director of Caribbean Basin Enterprises BVI Limited, a company desirous of providing paid services to the government through various contracts for sale of environmental and industrial products and for provision of project management and construction works for a period of 4 years, from 2019 to to 2023 to various ministries of government. The motion for exemption was carried on the basis that the Honorable Malone disclosed to the House his desire to provide services to the government. Jovan, this story has taken on a life of its own within the past few months. We've seen where persons have taken to social media in the past few weeks that's caused quite a stir. Some of the community activists who claim that not because Honorable Malone declared his interest makes this right. In addition, many persons have taken to Facebook to point out a few facts. Firstly, it is unusual for a contract to be for 4 years, and many have stated that this is an unprecedented length of time for a contract to last that long. Secondly, one person raised a concern that this bias gives an unfair advantage as he, Malone, is part of the sitting government, and that persons wishing to compete for such a contract cannot because of his influence. In addition, the nature of the contract and the fact that a copy of the said contract has not been made public or available to the general community. This is not the Honorable Malone's first contract. It is, his first contract as a sitting legislator. However, information received from our newsroom through highly credible sources prove that this is his 7th contract with the government of the Virgin Islands over a number of years. Very interesting story, Jovan.
Very
what are your thoughts?
interesting indeed, and I see, according to what the Honorable Premier said yesterday in the House of Assembly, these contracts would have spanned over a course of about 9 to 10 years, and then would have been renewed. The comment that a viewer said about it not being privy to the public, was it privy to the public in the past? I just think when it comes to our legislators and it comes to the context of business while sitting in the House of Assembly, we just have to remain consistent, and I think that's what the people are looking for. We're going to set it in legislation, these are the rules, and it doesn't matter whether it's the opposition or the current government in power, they remain consistent to the rules.
And what do you when you look at the number of contracts that one particular company has been offered within a number of years, 7 contracts, what are your thoughts?
It's a little risky, however, I believe that one of the more major concerns is the fact that he may have been allotted that contract while he's overseeing the very ministry. So person think that it's a contradiction almost. So
conflict of interest.
A conflict of interest as well. So you have to be very careful with those type of arrangements. Right. I don't want to pronounce too much on it because I want to see where it goes.
I'll do that for you another time.
All right, moving along, viewers, on the international scene, Kevin Hart, famous actor, comedian, and producer, was over the last weekend involved in a major car accident in California. Now, according to California Highway Patrol, this happened on Mohan Highway, just east of the Cold Canyon Road. Now, at the time, his friend Jared Black was driving the vehicle. Now, the people who own the large property were hoping that they didn't hear the crash, but discovered the extensive damages in the morning, even though they didn't realize at the time that it was their famous neighbor, Kevin Hart. Investigators said that Black, who was driving Kevin's beloved Barracuda, pulled out of Cold Canyon at Hart's home onto Mohan and immediately lost control of the vehicle. You can see from the skid marks there, the car slams through the fence, rolls down the embankment, trapping Black as well as the third passenger, who has been recognized since as Rebecca Broxterman inside the car. LA County Fire said that the driver was found pinned on his seat under the crushed roof. And if you look at the pictures, you can see how major the damages were. Under the crushed seat as well as the female passenger, they were both pinned down, and the officials had to literally cut the roof off of the vehicle to get them out of the car. Now, shockingly, Kevin Hart was able to get out of the car on his own and went home just about half of a mile away to get help. But both Kevin Hart and his friend Jared Black would have had severe or major back injuries and has since undergone surgery. Kevin is hospitalized at Norwich Hospital, and his wife on Monday, which was yesterday, Miss Anika Hart, said he's going to be just fine. She added that Kevin is awake but not laughing or joking just yet after having to undergo corrective back surgery. Now, his friend Black, who suffered major back injuries as well, is currently being treated at UCLA, and the police said that the woman was not injured. Now, after looking at the car, you can see clearly that this was merely a miracle that these three people survived this accident, which occurred just about 1 a.m. on Sunday morning. Viewers, our prayers and best wishes are with Kevin Hart and, of course, the other two passengers as they continue to heal from this tragic incident.
Jovan, I cannot imagine I'm telling you, playing out without Kevin Hart. Nope, I can't see it.
The whole industry would change.
I cannot see it.
The whole game would change. It's
So
my favorite comedian.
Yeah,
you look at him
happy.
and he looks funny.
Yeah, we're happy
without
that
even
he's-
saying anything. I love him.
Yeah, so
All
we're
right.
happy that he's doing well. And our prayers go out to him and his
And
family.
speedy recovery
Yes.
to all of them, of course. Viewers, that's it for today's news roundup. Be sure to like us on Facebook at 284 Media, as well as 284 BVI on Instagram, as well as Twitter. I'm Javon Wilson.
And I'm Ron Grant. Be sure to like us and join us, every Tuesday and Friday at 3 p.m. as we deliver honest and impartial news right here on 284 News. Happy Tuesday, everybody. Have a great rest of the week.
How may I assist you? Yes. You want top of power?
You want top of power?
Join the prepaid party with CCT and enjoy more affordable data plans, more top-up promotions, more savings with hero bundles, and more value for your money each and every Tuesday with Top Up Turn Up Tuesday. Visit a CCT store today or anywhere CCT Top Up is sold and top up your phone.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. You want top of power?
You never put up a fight, no. Paradise Plum. Yeah, this is Naomi Cowan representing for 284 Media. Keep it locked and don't go anywhere. Stay sweet.